Okay, we are going live in three, two, one. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. I'm here in the studio. I've got the new microphone set up, so let me know how this video sounds. But today I want to talk about Citizen. We're going to do our only episode. I know I've kind of strayed from doing these only episodes in recent months, but I want to get back on track, do some regular content, and talk about some great watch brands. Now, let's do a wrist check actually before we jump into it. I'm wearing the Oris Aquis limited edition Lake Baikal today. It's a gorgeous blue fume sunray dial with a contemporary diver design that I've just really loved for a long time. So that's what I'm wearing, but we're not talking Oris, we're not talking Swiss watches, we're going to talk Citizen. And I know some of you that have been here for a long time, you will already know these tidbits that I'm going to share, but let's talk a little bit about the company before I give you my picks for a strong daily wear trio that, if you were only going to collect from Citizen, these are my recommendations. Before we do that, let's do some fun facts. For those of us new in the hobby and experiencing brands for the first time, learning and growing, and just in that excitement state where you're discovering new things. So Citizen has been around since 1918. They own actually several different watch brands. They operate Bulova. They operate a couple Swiss brands too. You may not be aware of this, Alpina and Frédéric Constant, which is interesting. Technically, those are still Swiss made, but they're owned by the Japanese. Citizen also has a movement manufacturer arm called Miyota. So if you're wearing a micro brand watch and that watch does not carry an NH35 made by Seiko or a Sellita, a Swiss made movement, chances are it probably has a Miyota. So that's really interesting because Citizen's bread and butter is not technically mechanical watches or Swiss watches. They make Japanese powered eco drive watches where the power comes from light technology. They're quartz movements. They're very reliable, very accurate, and very tough to beat. My wife wears a Citizen and she's been doing that for the past 4 years daily. And it's been a great piece for her. She actually swam with this with the crown undone. We got water all in the movement, the crystal fogged up. We put it in a bowl of rice. And you know what? A few days later, it started working again and it keeps perfect time. You just can't beat the Citizen Eco Drive. They're very well done for the price point. So although Citizen is not my favorite Japanese brand, I do enjoy Seiko more. I do enjoy Orient more. There's still one that I have a lot of respect for, and I've owned a few over the years. And in fact, I've got one coming next week on loan from Saltzman's Watches, an Aqualand Pepsi diver that we're going to be reviewing here on the channel. But let me give you guys my picks. My first one, and this is going to be the one I'm most excited about. This is going to be the watch that I would want to wear most days of the week. It's got to be a great daily driver, and it's a bit dressy. But don't let that fool you. It's very capable. This is the Citizen Chronomaster. The Citizen is Citizen's highest line. It's comparable to Grand Seiko in terms of fit and finish and execution, technology, and yes, price point. These are pretty pricey. This one I'm showing you retails for 285,000 yen, which with discounts and with conversion rates, you're likely going to be spending around $1,900 to acquire this watch. Now let's talk about it. This is a 38 millimeter diameter watch, 45 millimeters in lug to lug with a 10 millimeter height. So very pleasant proportions. It will disappear on wrist. It's done in stainless steel. Again, the finishing is top notch. The polishing is just as good as Grand Seiko's Suratsu polishing that they are so famous for. The brushing is nice and deep and fine. And the watch is coated with their proprietary Duratect coating, which by everything I've read and looked at is actually a step up above DiaShield from Seiko. So it's more functional. It will protect your titanium and your stainless steel pieces to a greater degree from everyday wear, hairline, scuffs, and all those little things, swirlies from sitting at a computer desk. So where is your money going with this watch? I know $2,000 is quite a bit for this rather generic looking or simple looking watch, but I think the more you look at it, the more you can appreciate the level of finish and the simplicity and strength in the form, in the design language. This is really what the Japanese do so well, and that is doing something that's functional, practical, but with a subtle level of beauty that the more time you look at, the more you appreciate the detail work, the Dauphine style hands, the way the applied markers are so clean and faceted, and how much light they reflect. And if you look at the crystal is sapphire, and Citizen applies a coating that will give you 99% clarity. So it's just going to look dazzling no matter the light situation that you're in, whether you're outside in natural light or inside in artificial light, low light. It's a very sharp looking, simple watch that's absolutely accurate. The A660 movement here is accurate to within 5 seconds per year, which is basically double what Grand Seiko is currently doing. I know they have some models that are plus or minus 5, but most of them are plus or minus 10. This is a perpetual calendar. And so you never have to adjust the date. You never have to adjust the time. It's just always going. It's beautiful, it's simple, and it does fly under the radar. So this is the one I'm most excited about, and hopefully this year I can get one in to review in person here on the channel and share with you guys the details, because I think the Citizen line, the Chronomasters, they don't get enough love amongst us in the watch enthusiast community. We're always giving our love and attention to Grand Seiko, which I love Grand Seiko, don't get me wrong, and I've owned Grand Seiko, but I think the Citizen line is underrated. And anyways, let's go to the next pick, guys. This is a watch that I have owned. This is called the Signature Grand Touring Sport. It's a big watch, 45 millimeters in diameter, and it's so bold with its design language. And I know that sounds a little bit obscene, 45 millimeters. It's a big boy, no doubt. And so this is one that I would want to wear on a daily basis, but the quality is really good here. And I will link my full review that I did last year, or actually, I guess it was 2019 when I reviewed this. I'll link that in the description so you guys can take a look. But a great bracelet, very solid, sandwich construction of the dial, the wrist presence is great, not only in size, but how it wears, the light play off of the surfaces and different finishing. The bezel action is really solid. And this one is not a quartz movement. This one is their highest level of a mechanical piece. So technically it's exact same roughly as a 9015 from Miyota, but they regulate it to a greater degree and they dress it up to a greater degree too. So I think that does make a difference. Full retail on this is $1,150. I believe it was recently discontinued, so you probably have to find this pre-owned now. I believe when I sold mine, I think I sold it for $500 or $600. You can find some really great deals on these pre-owned. They don't pop up available, very frequently since it is such kind of an out there watch, but when you do, you can find a good deal. And I would recommend buying this. Anything under $800 pre-owned, I think is a great price for this watch. Now, I'm looking at my picks and I see a void here. I've got two relatively expensive Citizen watches. I don't have any affordable ones. I don't have any Eco Drive, which really is their bread and butter. So my last pick has to be a Citizen Eco Drive that's affordable. It's one that I've reviewed a variation of, a special edition of, and I will link that review. But I love the Citizen Nighthawk. This one retails, I believe, at $395, but regularly sells for about $200 and under if you want to buy it pre-owned or if you go gray market. So there are some deals to be had on this model. And it's, again, more of a practical watch, 42 millimeters in diameter, 12 in overall height with a 22 millimeter lug width. And this one does come with the GMT feature, 200 meters of water resistance, and a very solid bracelet that carries a milled clasp, which is not something that you would find on a competitively priced Seiko. So I like the value here, and I like the color. I do like how busy this is. It's totally different from the GT Sport, totally different from the Chronomaster, and I think brings some nice variety to the rotation here. So we have ivory or champagne, we have sunray blue, we have black, we have simplicity at its finest. And then we have an absolutely loud and busy pilot watch. We have a dive watch. We have a dress watch. I think we have some good versatility here. We have automatic. We have quartz, super high accuracy quartz. And then we also have a light powered eco drive movement. So, looking at these three, realistically, you're going to be spending between $2,500 and $3,000, depending on if you can find a good deal on that GT Sport. But I think for that cumulative total, you get a heck of amount of watch. You get a Grand Seiko level watch. You get a great dive watch. You get a great unbeatable beater watch, so to speak. And I think these are pretty powerful, pretty strong. So let me know what you guys think of my picks and what would you change. Do you have a favorite Citizen? I'd be interested to hear what you recommend. Now, just in closing, we will be doing more only episodes where we explore only one brand. We make 3 picks from one brand. And so let me know which one you would like to see next week for the next only episode. Some of the brands you may be suggesting we've already done, but I'd be interested to hear what you say. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.